our mayor, Buddy Dyer.
Good afternoon. I'm Mayor Buddy Dyer. I'd like to welcome you to the January 23rd, 2012 council meeting of the Orlando City Council. We're going to begin today's proceedings with the invocation offered by Reverend Mark Crutcher, Senior Pastor at Mount Olive AME, located at 2525 West Church Street in District 5. Mount Olive has been in existence for 130 years, and Reverend Crutcher has served the congregation for the last 2 years. The church participates in after-school tutoring, summer enrichment programs, community family conference, and family support activities in partnership with the Orlando Housing Authority. After the invocation, we'll be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by District 4 Commissioner Patty Sheehan. If we could all please stand.
Let us bow our heads. Lord, we come now to be thankful for just an opportunity to be here and to assemble together. And we come to invoke your presence, your power, and your prosperity. And that you would be in the midst of decision making, that you would be in the midst of leadership, that you would be in the midst of those who serve and who are committed to serving this community and beyond. And we ask that you would allow us to use your strength to be able to make a difference in the decision making, that you would bring forth the resources that are needed to make plans realities. We ask that you help us to make plans that are your plans and that look beyond our faults, our shortcomings, and allow us to do something that would make lives better for the people down here. We ask that you would just give us strength, give us faith, to be able to see beyond the things that are before us, to be able to believe even beyond what we see, and to have the courage to go forth and to reach beyond the things that we've failed on to make sure that we have achievement. We ask that you would bless us and keep us together in unity. And even in the midst of this meeting, let your unity, let your love, and let your strength abide in our hearts so that we would do something that give you honor and bless folk in this time. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll and make a determination of a quorum, please?
Commissioner Diamond? Here. Commissioner Ortiz?
Here.
Commissioner Stewart?
Here.
Commissioner Sheehan?
Here.
Commissioner Lynham?
Here.
Commissioner Ings?
Here.
Mayor Dyer?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Commissioner Stewart, that wasn't a very hearty.
Here.
All right.
Is that better?
That's better. Okay, consideration of minutes from the January 9th agenda review and city council meetings.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Lynham, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Things are restored to normalcy.
I did it just so you could say that.
All right. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. All right, I heard a cell phone during the invocation, so let's all turn our cell phones off. I'm doing that myself. Okay, we have no presentations today, so I will go right into the mayor's update. Commissioner Stewart and Commissioner Ortiz and I had the opportunity to join the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund at the Call to Photos event, which is a national campaign to locate photographs of all 58,272 service members who are memorialized on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. And over the weekend, we had the Wall That Heals, which is a traveling half-scale replication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and it was on display in Lake Eola Park, and it was a very moving tribute. And I told Lisa that it was almost like it was made for that spot in our park. It fit so well, didn't it? It was great. So that was a very fitting tribute for our veterans and our active military personnel, and was very well attended. Also, last week, and I'm going to let Commissioner Lynham take the lead on the Evans Parade, which we were both in for Saturday events. But I was participated in the U.S. Conference of Mayors winter meeting, and you'll recall we are hosting the summer meeting, and you cannot imagine how excited the mayors are to come to Orlando in June. I had people telling me, one mayor, that he was bringing 22 members of his family to Orlando, so a little bit of economic activity. And I got an extra little surprise. The White House called me and said, we're going to Orlando. Do you want to come down with us? So I was able to fly on Air Force One with the President and the Commerce Secretary, and the President had an announcement related to visitation and tourism that is very helpful to our community in expediting Brazilian, Indian, and Chinese tourists, all of which are big in our market. FDI magazine has ranked Orlando not one of, but the top city in the country for business friendliness. And I think that speaks volumes for what we've been trying to do here. It's in their annual rankings of top cities for the future, and they recognize this as an emerging technology and innovation hub. I want to invite everybody to the State of the City address, which is February 29th at 10 o'clock. That's a Wednesday. And we're changing it up in recognition that this is the year of the medical city. We're going to do the State of the City address at UCS College of Medicine out at the medical city. NBA All-Star Weekend is closing in upon us February 23rd through the 26th. At the next council meeting, I'm going to have Alex Martins, president of the Magic, come over and update us on the status of the All-Star Weekend. Our staff has been busy getting ready, and I want people to know there are events that are open and available to the public. Go to nba.com/All-Star 2012, and you can get information on tickets and what's available. Mayor's City Academy has another class that's upcoming. Application deadline is next Friday, February 3rd, and classes start on Thursday, March the 8th. A lot going on. Blues BQ is coming up on Saturday, February 18th from 3 to 10 in front of the Amway Center. I'm not going to steal Commissioner Sheehan's total thunder, but we did, the Domestic Partnership Registry went into effect last week. I guess it was the week before, the 12th, and we've had 132 couples register, and 29 of them signed up on the very first day. And then just a few items to highlight on the consent agenda today. We have a number of subdivision plats that we are approving today to make way for residential development. In addition, plats and annexation of a couple locations for new Wawa stores. So I think it's good news on the economic front that we're having a little bit of an upturn in development, and that includes the public supermarket distribution center that's going to create 156 new jobs with wages of at least 115% of our metro average. And then finally, we're approving PKZ funding for this year, and we were recognized, PKZ was recognized by the White House earlier last month. The President formed something called the White House Council for Community Solutions to look at tackling various national priorities, one of which is putting every young adult on a pathway to economic opportunity. And they looked at programs in Philadelphia, New York, Atlanta, Boston, and Orlando, and highlighted a detailed case study of the Paramore Kids Zone. And then one last thing is we are continuing the POWER program. So with that, we will move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is a number of items that are acted on through a single vote of council. We give each of the council members an opportunity to comment on items on the consent agenda, update you on items of interest from their districts. We rotate who goes first, and today it is Commissioner Sheehan's turn.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to give my condolences to the family of Betty Carter. She was a long-term supervisor of elections, and she was really a character. And one of the funniest things she ever said to me was, honey, the only thing that gets politics out of your blood is embalming fluid. So, Betty, may you rest in peace. And anybody that knew her knew what an absolute character she was. And she was the first elected official to ride in the Gay Pride Parade. And she rode in a sequined red, white, and blue vest. And we got death threats that year because people were so freaked out that an elected official actually would do the right thing and recognize our community. So, again, kudos to long-term rest in peace, Betty, and condolences to your family. I want to thank Chief for arresting the Thornton Park flasher. He's been bedeviling us a long time, and Chief Rooney, thank you for your guys for arresting, or gal actually, for arresting this fellow who has been bedeviling the women in Thornton Park for a long time. And again, the importance of calling 911, because that's how he was apprehended. Someone saw him, called the police, and he was apprehended over the weekend. But thank you, because it's really been scaring women who've been, frequenting the establishments in Thornton Park, and we're really glad to have him off the streets. Well, the alleged criminal, I have to say. I'm always in trouble for saying that, but the alleged criminal who was exposing himself to women. We're having a dragon parade, which is really kind of fun, in Mills 50 on February 5th. So if you are around the area of Mills and Colonial, we're actually getting together at Colonial Photo and Hobby parking lot from 11 o'clock. The parade's going to start at 11. We're having Lunar New Year Festival 2012 with a dragon parade. So I'm delighted to see that the main streets are celebrating cultural diversity, that we're celebrating our Asian culture over in that area. So if you're in the area, we would love to see you come to the Lunar New Year Festival Sunday, February 5th at 11 o'clock. Mayor, I am delighted about the Domestic Partnership Registry and happy to hear that 132 couples have signed up for it, in addition to myself and Jocelyn. It was just a really special day for everybody who attended that day and had our government recognize our relationships. So thank you, and ability to help take care of each other. And I have to tell you, the city staff has said how wonderful it's been seeing people come in, express their commitment for each other. And thanks again for the City Council for taking this important milestone to enable people to take care of their loved ones. So thank you very, very much. On the agenda today, on item C7, the bus rapid transit, I'm so glad to see this happening between District 5 and District 4. Very much needed route, and again, thanking Congresswoman Corrine Brown for her important advocacy on this issue. We actually had a Bolt bus that used to make this trek back and forth. It was an experimental bus, and it had a pretty good ridership. But I'm glad to see that we're finally codifying it, making it permanent. On item C14, UCF, my alma mater, glad to see that we're moving forward on issues for the medical center, and moving forward on items coming forward on that. On item F1, the power program, glad to see that we're, again, putting $2,000 per household unit. But something that I found, Mayor, in some of the areas in my district where the houses were really designed poorly is $2,000 doesn't always get it. So we might need to look to some things that we can do to really help people. I've got the least energy efficient neighborhood in my district is actually Coy Town, which surprised me. I thought it would be some of the older homes. So it's 1950s block homes that have no insulation in them. So we might have to do a little bit more than $2,000. I don't know if the other commissioners might have had that same experience, but there definitely is a need there, because some of these poor people have up to $400 a month power bills alone. So it's a big problem. I'm glad to see that on the agenda today that we're taking some taking some action to help them, but again, there's a lot more need out there. Item H1, glad to see the NRA grant for training equipment for the K-9 teams. Again, it's just an application process, and moving forward with that. And I really want to thank Frida Vick about the Asian Lunar New Year Parade. My folks got their application in a little bit late, and these are such important events to the community. So Chief, thank Frida so much, because she helped get this done for us. And I know I call that favoring a lot when I've got community groups that forget to put the things in on time. But these are really, really important events and parades and things that these folks put on, and I really appreciate the police department being responsive and getting them together for them. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Move to District 5. Commissioner Lynham.
Thank you, Mayor Dyer and Council. Commissioner Sheehan, historically, I think Richmond Heights area for over 50 years now, just about, has had the highest problems with utilities of any community in the entire city of Orlando. And I know Commissioner Page made that one of his major focuses when he was here. And it's still, but bad and wrong is wrong, no matter where you are in the community. But if you remember last year, we were able to weatherize so many homes in all of our districts. And I think some of them were a little more than others. Some did even roofing, that we went to extensive course to make sure it was taken care of. So we have any problems, I think you can, before Leela gets out of town, we ought to pull her in and say, hey, we need a little bit more. But they did a great job. I remember District 2 may have had the most spent in your district because you had so many more homes, and it was time, money to be spent there anyway. So you're right, that's a great project, and we're very, very thankful for it. And before we get into anything else, I was going to let everybody know, I know 2 people up here would be very interested. Breakfast is now served at Mount Olive Methodist. Pastor Crutcher is there. I told him the minute I said it, I know who's going to be on my butt. Oh, coming on over there. 2 guys up here I'm going to have a date for. I know, at least I know the mayor's going to certainly
We used to have the best biscuits and gravy in town.
Hey.
So I don't know who
Don't
was
even
cooking
talk
those,
about
but
the
if you
grits and-
reprised those, very good.
Hey, I don't know whether it's still $3 or not, but if it is, I mean, I don't care if you went up to 5. Let's make a date, guys. Let's get on over there. 8:45 to almost 9. Oh, Lord. Yeah. That's a good breakfast for $3. So, Pastor, we're on our way. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here today. This past week has been really, really great celebration of Martin Luther King with the MLK Junior Commission we have here at the Mayor's Commission. Just a great, great group of volunteers, beyond any you've ever worked with. And we had started with Reggie's group, the AFAs, luncheon, and, you know, the president of NAACP was a great speaker that day. And our parade here in Orlando, and Ocoee, and Eatonville, and all across Apopka, our candlelight visual at, I know Mayor and I, and Commissioner Diamond, were attended, and of course Commissioner Diamond and Mayor and all of us were at the prayer breakfast. That is something we do every year. It's just great to be able to celebrate together as colleagues, and then to pay honor to where honor is due. Now, Father Clear and somebody else I know look just alike, and that other person who wasn't Father Clear was at the candlelight visual, and I didn't know who he was, but Father Clear is the president of the Negro Spiritual Scholarship Foundation. That is one of the most diverse groups that celebrate great song and history of the Negro spiritual, and they celebrated this year and last year at Mount Zion. It was a phenomenal presentation. So if you know Rudy, he's just a great priest, and we want to make sure we stay partners. But the part, some weekends and some weeks, we see one another every day. So during this time of year, we did. And at the parade, we had Mayor Dyer there, Commissioner Eanes, and myself. The parade for the opening of one of the best high schools in Orange County, and that was Evans High School. I'm sure that's almost a $100 million high school, new dedication services and parade, over 94 entries, but that was just a portion of it. It was to have community pride in Pine Hills, that Senator Siplin was instrumental in making that school happen. So to include us, because that entire school is almost encompassed by the city. I mean, we kind of wrap around it almost. And hopefully if we get it, the annexation's done, and we're working on that. And I talked to Mr. Blocker about annexation. We've tried it before, and we still need to work on it. But that is one great school. If your kids go there, we want to congratulate the school board members, Senator Siplin, and all of those guys who were there, and Mayor Dyer, all of us. We had a great time. And tonight, we're going to do something we've done before, and that's have a meeting with the Callahan neighborhood regarding the construction of the Homeless Coalition. And as usual, our go-to guy regarding jobs is our blueprint office, and that's Gennaro. So we're only going to deal with announcing what's going to happen there and the opportunity for jobs. And I believe Gennaro said we have, I know it's about 50 jobs. Some of these are skilled labor jobs, but many of them are just day labor type of, not day, but unskilled labor. So if you need a job, you're in Paramore area, and you come through the Blueprint office, we have a job for you that is about to, we're about to break ground on very, very soon. I don't remember the date. Mayor Dyer may have known that. But there are jobs out there, and we're going to bring them. As I say every council meeting, we are heads and shoulders above the state in making these opportunities occur. And I was surprised, Mayor Dyer didn't mention it, but we approved in Metro Plan the financial plan for Wekiva Parkway. You know, the day before, we had met, or a couple of days before, with Congressman Micah to look at future development around Sunrail. And I know Mayor Dyer, as the chairman, pointed out the construction of the Florida Hospital station, the Church Street station, the Orange Memorial, what is it called? Orlando Health. I still call it Orange Memorial. What is it? Orlando Health. And let me tell you, millions and millions and millions of dollars in construction. And that means jobs and job opportunities. So the WCAVA is going to open up another opportunity as soon as the East-West Expressway Authority approves that component. But the funding will come through Orlando Expressway Authority, Turnpike, and Florida Department of Transportation. We need to keep our eye on our computers and track those jobs. And maybe, Gennaro, you can help us track that so we can make those announcements up here. I've just learned, sitting here, about Betty Cotter. I didn't know she had passed. She was a phenomenal lady, and I would send out my greatest sympathies to her family and loved ones that are left, and great friends. And Mayor, I know you mentioned All-Stars, but let me tell you, we have great staff working on that, and maybe in the near future, next meeting, we'll have something to announce on that. I've gotten so many questions, and I'm not going to talk to anyone until we resolve all the questions with you and staff. So now for agenda items C6, C7, and C8. The city is Link's project manager for the Paramore Bus Rapid Transit, and I really, really appreciate what we're going to do because we're pretty good at what we do, and I'm looking forward to opportunity for jobs out of that also, and to announce the great project we have in the weatherization program. We already opened the topic on earlier. And I think that's all I have. And I believe the Tiger Grant was that part of that $10 million Tiger Grant we received. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll move on to District 6. Commissioner Ings.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to also say item C7 on the agenda, the bus rapid transit route east-west. This is a great project. Thank you, Congresswoman Corrine Brown, for your assistance in helping us to get this $7.9 million grant for this. And then also thank you, Leela Allen and Paulette Edwards. Item F1, and of course we know that throughout Carver Shores, Richmond Heights, and Johnson Village that we do have some problems still with weatherization, and hopefully some homes will be touched by that. We know that there are only so many homes in this particular program, but you guys continue to work to try to help the entire city, so thank you so very much. I'd like to announce, too, that on January 9th, I believe that was Monday, Barry Larkin, an Orlando resident and former Cincinnati Reds shortstop, was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And one of the articles quote that he had plenty of room to spare as it relates with the votes. He was chosen on 495 of the 573 ballots, which gave him an 86% in voting. And he was a shortstop with the Cincinnati Reds. And Barry was there from 1986 to 2004, come out of the University of Michigan. You know him, don't you, Dave, or not? But Barry is a great person and father and businessman. He's working now with ESPN. And I reported last year that Barry came in third in the voting, and this year he came in number one with the 86% in voting. The necessary requirement is 75%, so he well exceeded that. And Barry also, during his career, had 198 home runs, 960 RBIs, and 379 stolen bases. He was a 12-time All-Star. In 1995, he was the National League's Most Valuable Player Award, 3 Gold Gloves, And also, he was one of the Reds when they won the 1990 World Series. So Barry is a great player. Barry also became, in 1996, the first shortstop to have 30 homers and 30 steals in a season. So he's committed to Orlando. He has a son that graduated from Dr. Phillips High School and is also into sports. And then on January the 12th, I sponsored, along with Clean the World and 94.5, which was hosted by Monica May, the Remembering Haiti and Building Capacity. This was the second year that we had this here at the Orlando City Hall. It was a great event, very well attended. Jean Beauvoir was the guest artist, multi-platinum artist that came and really gave of his time and effort in celebrating this occasion with us. So this was a great event. Thank you, Clean the World, for helping to support. Also, Universal Studios for your support in this effort, too. And then on Saturday, I did not make the town of Eatonville's 35th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Parade and celebration, but I understand it was a great event. It started at 2 p.m. Mayor Bruce Mount of the town of Eatonville hosted this event. The theme was Embrace the Dream. Sponsors included Star 94.5, Orange County, 102 Jams, and the Grand Marshal for the event was former Orlando Police Chief Val Demings. And after the parade, they had a festival in the park with local performing artists. So this was a great and outstanding event. And then, of course, it's been mentioned by the mayor and Commissioner Lynham referenced Evans High School dedication and parade celebration. This was a great event, and I'm so happy that so many people, specifically Senator Gary Siplin, was involved in trying to maintain the main campus for the site of the new school. Instead of moving further west into the Ocoee area, they rebuilt the school right on the same site, right in the heart of the community. Community came out in great support. They even sang chants of "We love our community" during the parade, and it was very well attended. Dr. Christensen, who's the principal of the school, is to be commended for really pulling this together, and of course Senator Gary Siplin that helped to get rid of some of the roadblocks that were in the way so that they can get rid of many of the old buildings. And of course, Mayor Dyer and Commissioner Lynham on hand for the parade, Mayor Jacobs, and many of the county commissioners, Brummer, Tiffany Moore Russell, and Boyd, and Orange County Sheriff Jerry Demings, and of course the school superintendent Ron Blocker, and the school board chair Bill Sublette, and many of the school board members. So this was a great event. The school, and Mayor, you must take a tour of the school. They've got some outstanding classrooms and technology that's in the classrooms that's second to none. And I'm certain that the students will learn, because this is exactly what they need. We all like something new, improved, and so much better. And I imagine they will take great pride in keeping the school together and making sure that it doesn't get destroyed in any way. So my hat's off to the Evans High School family for their efforts in really waiting on a change that did come. And that's one change that we can certainly believe in, too, for the rebuilding of our community. And it says so much when we really commit to building and reinvesting in our community rather than saying it's best for us to move outside of our community and build somewhere else. And so much great pride. And then thank you, Mark Sloop of the Orlando Sentinel, for your reporting of the economic development occurring in Washington Shores and District 6, specifically the reporting of the new Walmart neighborhood grocery store on the Hope Church campus, and also the new Save-A-Lot within the Washington Shores Plaza on Bruton Boulevard. And the last thing I have is I'm getting ready to plan for an event that I think would be very good for our community, and it is a Walk for Peace. And this would be an event that will take place within District 6, and we will have it in February during Black History Month, and the celebration will take place in Hankins Park. But we're going to march to Hankins Park with this celebration, but it will be a Walk for Peace. And I would love to have the mayor and my fellow commissioners to join me on that particular day. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll move to District 1, Commissioner Diamond, and we will wish Commissioner Diamond a happy birthday today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Mayor. Well, it's been a busy couple of weeks, and I would also like to add my congratulations to the organizers and everybody else that worked on all of the Martin Luther King events that occurred a couple of weeks ago. I attended a number of the programs, and I was really honored and enjoyed the programs, and want to say thank you to all the people that worked on that and did such a nice job. On the agenda, a couple of things I'd like to mention. First of all, welcome to the Publix Distribution Center and the jobs that will be coming. That'll be located in District 1. And I think everybody is glad to see the jobs and the economic development that'll come as a result of those jobs. Also, I was glad to see that the Copley Square development is moving forward. That's item C4. That is on the site of the old Terra Oaks Apartments, and it was partially redeveloped a few years ago, and it's good to see that a new developer is coming in there to try to finish off the development with a nice project. And I know that the neighborhood is glad to see that, and I think everybody wishes them a lot of success. Also, I'm glad to see the partnership with Orlando Utilities Commission for weatherization and energy efficiency and rehabilitation. I'm also glad to see the items for bus rapid transit that'll be coming through, to see the construction of the 2 rapid transit lines that'll be coming, and also to take the rapid transit to the next step. On January 30th, we'll be having a public meeting, one of many public meetings, but the one public meeting specifically designed for or held for citizens in the southern part of Orlando, January 30th at the Beardall Center at 6:30, to talk about the next step after we get through these 2 rapid transit lines that are on the agenda today. These are the potential rapid transit lines that might be going to the north side of town in the Florida Hospital area, and the south side in the Orlando regional area, and maybe even further south than that. But as part of a larger network to really connect the lines and really help people get around town. So that's January 30th, 6:30 at the Beardall Center. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll move to District 2, Commissioner Ortiz.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me start with the agenda. On item F1, I'm also, just like my fellow commissioners expressed, I'm very excited about that MOU. Last time we benefited tremendously, 359 homes, District 2. That's quite a bit. So we're really looking forward to this other opportunity to help our communities around the city. And item H1, as I've said before, the application for the NRA grant, $10,000 for K9 equipment. I think that's great. We're taking opportunities that are out there, to help ourselves and help others. And because we have such a great police department, we are always, we're pretty lucky in getting most of those grants. So I want to congratulate you, Chief. January the 14th, I participated on the Martin Luther King Parade. I want to congratulate the staff from JC's, the JC's organization. They did a tremendous job. It was a great time. Celebrated the great day and commemoration of a great man. And it was a great chance to interact with the community and our fellow commissioners and officials around the city. We had our Neighborhood Leaders Council meeting last week. And during the morning, we also had the Cimarron Business Partnership meeting. I want to congratulate and thank Mr. Jeff Arms for a great presentation to both of our groups of Neighborhood Leaders Council and the Seminole Business Partnership, what it pertains to the construction or the revitalization of District 2, which is coming up hopefully by mid-year this year or towards the end of this year. We have great things happening on the Seminole Corridor, expansion of sidewalks, putting some pavers or bricks on the medians, changing our street lights, and as a whole, it's going to be a great change in our facade, which in the long run, it helps everybody because that's the main gate to the city, to the region, and from our airport. So I think that's going to benefit anybody, hopefully also increasing the property values around that area. And last Saturday, just as the mayor mentioned, I had the honor to also witness the call for photos ceremony with Mayor Dyer and Commissioner Stewart. I want to thank and congratulate the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund founder and president, Mr. Jan C. Scruggs, and Mr. Paul Hayes, who is with the Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council chairman. They did a great job putting that together. And Mayor, I got to say, just like you said, that wall or the little sample of the wall looks great. It would be awesome if we could come up with something like that for the same area because it fits just right. So congratulations to all of those that were involved in this particular function. Even the band was great too. And this Saturday at the Orlando History Center, we're going to have international graffiti artist Hector Nicer Nazario. He'll be here once again, starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. He'll be painting with children in the plaza in front of the History Center of Central. This is a celebration of La Vida de Roberto Clemente, Más allá del béisbol. Translation, Beyond Baseball, Beyond Baseball, The Life of Roberto Clemente, exhibit from January 21st to March 18th, 2012 at the History Center. I had the chance to visit the museum on Friday, and I tell you what, for those of you that have not been there, it is a great spectacle. It's something that I'm pretty sure you will enjoy if you get to have a chance to visit the museum and also enjoy the life of this great baseball player who was Roberto Clemente, not just because of what he did as a baseball player, but what he did as a human being, as a humanitarian. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, and we will move to Commissioner Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor, and my voice will last, I think, so it may be short comments. I know that I'll get a round of applause from this commission. A couple of things I want to mention. First is Betty Carter. Patty is exactly correct. She's one of those ladies that will never be duplicated. But she was my first public official I had a chance to get to know, and knew that you could be yourself and still be a public official. So it was great about Betty. The MLK parade was great. We had a great time. Reggie, thank you for your work, and thank you for the work of the committee. I had an opportunity to be at the breakfast for a few minutes there. I had to leave early because we were doing a project down at the Christian Service Center and had to duck out early. So I appreciate a great deal of the work that y'all did to it, Marcia and the entire committee. It was great seeing it. And it was great seeing you guys heard those cats during the parade. I was talking to your husband about Marcia. It was just wonderful watching them, thinking, I'm glad that's not me. So it was great. Congratulations to Evans High School. It was what a great event. I was tied up on another event that morning, couldn't get over there. But years ago, when they began this process, working with Edgewater and Evans, it was important to the Edgewater High School people that Evans be put right back where it was. And so they came out in advocacy of that. And I think that what's occurred is proof that we were making the right decisions. That Evans stays there. It's a part of the community that needs to be there. And we were it was important to be there. Mayor, congratulations to your Mayor's Advisory Committee, Veterans Advisory Committee for the Vietnam Memorial. We forgot to mention one particular person who is very important to our community. That's Corporal Larry Smedley. One of the heroes of our community is actually the only Medal of Honor winner from Central Florida out of the conflict of the Vietnam War. And so I know that the Vietnam Memorial Museum is named in his honor, and so it's a wonderful opportunity to be over there. Saturday, I had an opportunity also to spend some time over at the Orlando Science Olympiad, the Florida Invitational. 6 schools were invited to come in from the Orlando Science School, and it was really great to see these kids. I had a chance to talk a little bit and talk about the importance of science, and that leads me to a little bit about the Otronicon, but I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Okay. I'll come back. On January 26th, the Monell Museum will be hosting the limo study. So I go ahead and do it now? Okay. We'll do the limo study. As Commissioner Diamond had mentioned, we were looking at the north corridors and south corridors. It's a chance to do another community meeting. We can look at those. Agenda item number C9 is a Wawa coming in our area. It's also being annexed into the community. I'm thrilled about that. I've had a chance to work with them so far and just see nothing but quality from their entire organization, and was thrilled about having them come on board. There's a couple of other new locations that I've looked at. I'm trying to kind of route their way. But as those of you who aren't familiar with the Wawa, it's a privately owned company that has about 700 stores throughout the Northeast and the Midwest, and they are just doing great guns. It would be probably for us down here, as I've told people before, it's probably a 7-Eleven on steroids. They do all the things right. High-class, high-quality convenience store. And I think we learned when we did the opening that they're the 5th largest seller of prepared coffee in the entire country. Only 700 stores in the Northeast. So it's just high-quality people from the staff all the way to their preparation. And now let's talk a little bit about Otronicon, if you'll let me, Ed. Thank you very much. Otronicon is an event hosted by the Orlando Science Center to focus on electronic and simulation and training. Here it comes up right now. We had some wonderful sponsors this year. I had a chance to spend some time there with a couple of the Star Wars characters. Go ahead and go through. I was one without the uniform. We had some great things that were going on, and let me just kind of share with you. Orlando has a $9 billion industry in simulation and training in our community, and I'm sharing this with y'all commissioners because these are the kind of things that get young people excited. I shared in my comments to the group that when I was a 6th or 7th grader over at Lee Middle School, Body by Fisher came in and talked to everybody about how to have a career in automobiles. And what occurred was guys went and had a career in automobiles, and until several years ago, we were the leader in automobiles. This is that same kind of career opportunity that we have. Let's get people involved in what we're doing. There were $100,000 generated by sponsors. There were 9,500 people that came through the exhibit in just 4 days. I appreciate Joanne Newman and the work that she's done. And I got a chance to kind of act like an NFL commentator by playing around on there, and they did some great stuff with the graphics. AE Sports came out and did a wonderful job. Walt Disney World was there. They had special career counseling for middle school kids. They had special career counseling for people who are unemployed. All that was going on all at the same time. And then simulation and training was the best part. Got some great ideas I'm going to share with Chief Rooney about that. And the most fun of all this was at the end of it, we had a little laser tag game with kind of real guns, if you want to call it that. And I got a chance to shoot a lobbyist. So I thought that was really kind of fun. These are all, I want to say, effectively regulation-type guns. And this is how we do war games now, using laser tag. And it's just really fascinating. How we are being able to train soldiers around the country. That stuff goes on right here in Orlando, Florida. And we train soldiers from around the country, saving lives every day based upon our training and simulation. And that's all that I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ings. I'll take Commissioner Ortiz's as the second. Sorry, Commissioner Smith.
Mayor, in following tradition, are we going to sing happy birthday
Sure.
to
I
her?
yeah.
Yes, I
And
think
you're
we
the
have to do
crooner.
that.
Started out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Diamond. Happy birthday to you.
How old are you?
You're doing great for 70.
And do y'all want the birthday speech, too?
No.
All right, we did not vote on the consent agenda, right? So all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? So the motion carries. Commissioner Ortiz is, I think, well, I don't know. I haven't heard everybody up here sing, but at least people like to hear him sing. Absolutely. I don't know about any of the rest of us. Okay. That brings us to, let's see, no CRA, NID, or OPEB meetings, so we'll go right to hearings, ordinances on second reading. Madam Clerk, number 1.
An ordinance of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending the planned development zoning district designation for certain real property generally located north of North Lucerne Circle, south of West Anderson Street, east of Boone Avenue, and west of South Orange Avenue, and comprised of 1.7 acres, more or less, providing amended conditions of the planned development district, directing amendment of the official zoning map, providing for severability, correction, Scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Lineham, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Is there anyone from the public that would like to testify on this matter? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Number 2, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City of Orlando, Florida, changing the zoning classification from HW to IP/W on certain real property generally located north of Shader Road, south of South Lake Orlando Parkway, west of Mercy Drive, and addressed as 3680 Mercy Drive, and comprised of 1 acre, more or less, amending the city's official zoning map as initiated by the property owner, providing for severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Diamond. Is there anyone from the public that would like to testify on this matter? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Number 3, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City of Orlando, Florida, relating to a street name change, renaming South Mission Road, generally located between Case and Cove Drive and L.B. McLeod Road, and between Raleigh Street and Carter Drive, to President Barack Obama Parkway, directing amendments to the official maps of the City of Orlando, Florida, providing for severability, correction, Scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ings. Who was that, Commissioner Ortiz? Or second by Commissioner Stewart.
I know I sound like him.
Yeah, your voice is a little, I couldn't pick it
I
up.
sound like him.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to testify on this matter? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Number 4, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending the city's adopted growth management plan by amending the city's future land use map designation from residential low intensity to urban activity center in part and office low intensity in part for certain real property generally located north of East Michigan Street, south of East Crystal Lake Street, east of South Orange Avenue, and west of Bethaway Avenue, and addressed as 2600, 2602, and 2604 Bethaway Avenue, comprised of 0.64 acres, more or less, changing the zoning designation from R3A/T/SP in part and R2A/T/SP in part to AC2/T/SP in part and O1-/T/SP in part for the same real property, directing amendment of the city's official future land use and zoning maps, providing for severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Diamond, second by Commissioner Lineham. Is there anyone from the...
Commissioner Sheehan.
Oh, I just can't get them today. Second by, correction, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Is there anyone from the public like to testify on this matter? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Ordinance is first read, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City of Orlando, Florida, annexing certain real property generally located at the northeast corner of Narcoossee Road and the Beachline Expressway, State Road 528, comprised of 29.14 acres, more or less, providing for amendment of the city's official map, severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Diamond, second by Commissioner Ortiz. I got that one right, didn't I? Okay, is there anyone from the public that would like to testify on this matter? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. That concludes the official portion of our business today. Thank you for tuning in.